time, space, form, and causality as the fundamental base of a Vyakta, the unmanifest, and Vyakta, the manifest existence. He performs the Panchakrityas, or the 5 cosmic acts of Srishti, creation, Sthiti, sovereign rulership and maintenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Drobhava, pulling out of illusion, and Anugraha, liberating grace for all living entities. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, as the 1008th incarnation of Paramashivam, and the reviver of the Kailasa, the ancient enlightened new civilizational nation, the great cosmic borderless Hindu nation, ever since the beginning of the civilization, the Sanatana Dharma has been cradle of enlightened beings and highly advanced sciences. It was where the powers of science, enlightenment, and powers and Shaktis were lived and taught as a lifestyle. For the first time in modern day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the yogic sciences and transmitting it to the world as a record-breaking, never accomplished before. And the knowledge and science of manifesting these Shaktis are passed down from one generation to the next through Diksha, the initiation by the enlightened gurus, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, being recognized as an incarnation at a very young age, was trained and taught these sciences to revive the initiation and knowledge repositories for billions to manifest the science of power manifestation from these disciplines of Vedanta, Tantra, Shri Vidya, Yoga, Yogic sciences, Mantra Shastra, Siddha Vidya, science of Aushadha, Advaita, Bhakti Yoga, Paramashiva Jnana, and Paramashiva Vijnana. So how can we awaken these divine Shaktis in us? For every ultimate truth, Jnana mapped into our consciousness, Prajna, manifests as possibility and power of every being, Prajnana. So now let us
of spiritual
science of the science of initiation.
energy by an enlightened being through look, word, or touch. The traditional Vedic book Navaratneshwara states,
Sarvasamapi dikshanam muktihi phalamakhanditam avirodhat bhavantyeva prasangyastu bhuktayah. The main benefit of all initiations is moksha, enlightenment.
As a side effect, health, wealth, leadership, and well-being happen. And in Rudrayamala Tantra, Shiva says,
Devi diksha vihinasya na siddhihi na cha sadgatihi tasmat sarva prayatnena guruna dikshito bhavet.
The one who is not initiated does not attain liberation nor a better future.
So by all efforts, one should get initiated by Guru.
What is the science of initiation? Neuroscience has proved that the process of initiation floods the brain with energy. This is the superconscious energy of Kundalini, our own highest inner potential energy. As the Kundalini flows from the thalamus to the cortex, it sets up a powerful energy loop within the brain, which awakens the latent non-mechanical parts which we have never used before. With increasing levels of coherence, the whole brain comes alive, turning into a superconductor of conscious energies that heal, empower, transform our lives, bliss and fulfillment. Initiation creates high awareness, visualization, creativity. It also slows the aging process and improves the immune system. Kundalini healing experience, levitation, teleportation, materialization. Experience the power of initiation
through a range of exclusive programs conducted at the ashram. Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, Nithyananda Nagar, Biddi, Bengaluru. Contact 97422 03311 82774 90091. Visit www.nithyananda.org. Diksha is the direct transfer of spiritual energy by an enlightened being through look, word, or touch. The traditional Vedic book Navaratneshwara states, Sarvasamapi dikshanam muktihi phalamakhanditam avirodhat bhavantyeva prasangyastu bhuktayaha. The main benefit of all initiations is moksha, enlightenment. As a side effect, health, wealth.
Yes. So let us understand how power manifestation is authenticated through four aspects of evidence or pramanas. The first is the Shastra Pramana. We can go back to the previous slide, please. Yeah, we can go back to the previous slide, please. We can go back to the previous slide. So the first is the Shastra Pramana, the eternal, unchangeable truths revealed in the source scriptures. Next is the Apta Pramana, the experiences and results of the Aptas or authorities of Hinduism, the Vedic rishis and scientists who time tested and verified the science. Next is the Atma Pramana, or the account of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, this millennium's avatar's personal experience of the karma meditation. And the Pratiksha Pramana, or the empirical evidence from the observations and scientific experimentation. And the Vedas are a living applied science. The Vedas are the ultimate superior authority for Hindus. The Vedas are the pure science where the ultimate truths are explained. The Agamas are the scriptures where the applied technology, the applied science is expanded. The Vedas and the Vedagamas are given the status of Shruti as they are directly revealed by Paramashivam. They are the ultimate, eternal, and unchangeable truth. A reference cited from these shastras or source scriptures is called the Shastra Pramana. So now let us get ready to witness a very extraordinary, unique demonstration of the power of body scanning. So we'll be entering into this demonstration very shortly. We'll be having the Guru Gopalasis joining us to demonstrate these extraordinary powers. So you can take a few minutes now to leave a comment in the comment section below. If you would like to have your body scanned, then leave a comment section on a comment in the comment section on Facebook and request for your body to be scanned. So we'll be right back after a very quick break.
Nityanandam.
Nityanandam.
We welcome back all the viewers. And let us all now enter into experiencing the power of body scanning. And just as Manitya Purna Priyananda was sharing with all of us, the power of body scanning is where, when one connects to the avatar, to Swamiji from the space of oneness, his or her ability to scan and diagnose the issues in another person gets awakened and manifests. This is the power where anybody, no matter which corner of the world you are from, but once you give your consent, we will be able to scan and identify any issues, any disorders, any medically diagnosed diseases that you have, any pains that you have in the body, and any diseases, any discomforts that you have in your body. And to all the viewers that are watching us right now, if you are interested in experiencing this power live right now, and if you want to see what it means to have a body scanning done, feel free to go ahead and leave a comment in Kailasa's SPH Nityananda YouTube channel. To all those that are watching us live right now, you can leave a comment in Kailasa's SPH Nityananda under our live YouTube video, the live video that's right now running. You can just post your comment under the comment section just under this video, and we will be manifesting the power of body scanning for you. And now, before we enter into the power manifestation itself, we will be chanting the references from the scriptures, from the Vedas and Agamas. The science, how this science of body scanning is beautifully described in our ancient scriptures, which Swamiji is reviving.
As we were explaining earlier, each of these sciences are not something newly discovered like that. Each of these sciences are scientific and time-tested science. And these powers are possible to be manifested from the physical human body. If you have a human body, understand you also have the potential to manifest these 463 plus powers of Paramashivam. So let's now see the reference from the source scriptures of Sanatana Hindu Dharma for this power of body scanning. This reference is from Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Swadehe jagato vape sukshma sukshma tarani cha tattvani yani nilayam dhyatvante yajjate para.
Cognize deeply that from the subtle to the subtlest constitutive principles of your whole body, Swadeha of the whole universe, simultaneously consists of essential reality. They are being absorbed in their soul's cause, Paramashiva. By the experience of such restful awareness, one becomes complete from all thoughts, and the ultimate universal divine power, Parashakti, is revealed and the supreme power manifestation happens. Now, the Apta Pramana is the reference from the life of a Siddha or an enlightened being, who is Apta, the authority of Hinduism, who has lived and time-tested this science. One such reference is from the life of a great Siddha Purusha, who was one of the prominent disciples of Agastya Maharishi. One day, a man who is suffering from a severe infection in the head and an infection in the brain, he comes to Agastya Maharishi and he requests for a solution and explains his suffering. Agastya Maharishi, upon hearing his problem, immediately manifests the power of body scanning, wherein he sees and scans the issue that the man is suffering from. He identifies that the man is having tere, a type of a frog sitting in his brain, a small frog, which is causing a severe brain infection. Immediately, Agastya Maharishi instructs one of his disciples to perform an open head surgery, wherein the brain was removed and the tere, the frog, was removed from the person's brain juice. And the disciple conducted this whole surgery successfully and completed the surgery, and the man was completely cured of his brain infection, and the whole headache was completely healed off of him. Thus, the disciple gained the name Thereya. This is just one of the hundreds and thousands of references that we have of how the ancient enlightened beings were manifesting these extraordinary powers.
And all those live viewers that are watching us now, if you want to experience this power manifestation for yourself, you can just leave your comment in the YouTube comment section. Just let us know that if you want a body scan, you do not need to put your anything else. You don't need to put your medical history or your symptoms, nothing you need to put. Just put your, just put that you would request a body scanning, and we will see. We won't know you. We won't know who you are. We might not have even met you. We wouldn't know anything about you. But just by connecting with Swamiji, and through the power of third eye, we will just connect with you, and whatever the issues that are in your body, third eye will reveal, and we will share that with you. And just want to also let you know, this is no way any medical suggestion that we have, or a prescription that we are giving, because this is not any kind of a medical advice. And this is only a sacred science, an ancient science that we are reviving, that Swamiji has revived, and that we are demonstrating to you.
And in addition to that, we would like to also remind all the viewers that are watching us right now that whatever we share through the third eye from the space of oneness with the avatar, whatever we share with the third eye, solutions, whichever is given, is not an alternative or a substitute or an equivalent to a consultation with a physician. So we highly encourage you all to get a consultation from your doctors, your physicians, before you apply or practice any of the solution, or before you consider any of the solution or scanning we give. Please do consult with a physician or your doctors, and then you can go forward with the solution. Yes, we are already having Masumi Murali, who has requested that my son grinds his teeth at night. So could you please reveal the solution? And she's also put she got consent. Sharma. And Ma Shanbhagavalli Reddy also has requested for a body scanning. Sharma, we will be manifesting this power. Manitya Tattvapriyananda will be scanning you, Ma Shanbhagavalli Reddy. And Ma Sumi Murali, I will be scanning you. We request both of you to stay tuned, and we will be sharing with you all. As Ma Tattvapriya is scanning, I would like to also share with all the viewers another incident from Swamiji's very own life, the Atma Pramana, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism lived and showed the whole humanity an example of what it needs to manifest this great sign in the modern era. Swamiji, in one of the instances, in one of the leelas that Swamiji had played, there was one such incident where Swamiji met with a multiple compound hand fracture. This, when normally happens to a person, leaves a person bedridden, where not just a person cannot move his hand, but the person goes through excruciating pain, and it puts the person completely bedridden and unconscious, where the person can't tolerate the pain. This is a very, very complicated hand fracture which happens. But what happened here with the avatar? You all can actually see the video that we're all projecting to you all along as I'm sharing. Swamiji had absolutely no pain whatsoever. Throughout the whole time where Swamiji had met with a multiple compound hand fracture, Swamiji held his hand. Swamiji was in fact scanning his own body, guiding the disciples what was happening. You all can see the video being projected. This is Swamiji sitting in the car, smiling wide, blessing and assuring the devotees not to worry, that he is safe. And Swamiji is in fact guiding the disciples what should be done. And Swamiji was scanning his own body and telling what exactly needs to be done. Even when Swamiji was forced to go to a surgery and the medical checkups related to that, Swamiji was guiding the doctors using the power of body scanning and explaining to them in detail of what was happening in Swamiji's body. And also another thing is not just not having pain. What amazed the whole medical field even more is at this kind of fracture, with this kind of fracture, Swamiji went through the whole surgical procedure without anesthesia. And Swamiji was sharing, completely conscious, and Swamiji was revealing the profound truths of how to exist, have a life without any pain and suffering to the most fortunate and blessed disciples around Swamiji at that moment. This whole thing is video recorded and captured. This is just one instance from the life of Avatar. You all can see how Swamiji is completely like smiling, talking, and the doctors had never seen anyone with such an injury being able to communicate calmly, let alone not helping. Even communicating calmly was not possible. So this is just one such excerpt from Swamiji's own life. And today we have thousands of people who are manifesting this Shakti just after one Deeksha from the Avatar. What you're all seeing now is a live Sakshi Pramana of this Shakti.
So I just wanted to know, share with Ma Shanbhagavalli Reddy what was revealed in the third eye. So now the first thing that was revealed is that there is a hormonal imbalance in your body, which is also resulting in you having mood swings. And second, there is a low, the iron in your body is low. So you need to eat more iron-rich foods, including amla and spinach. It needs to be included in your diet, and you need to eat a lot of iron-rich foods. If possible, even you can take some iron supplements, and please do so after consulting with a physician. But this is what the third eye is revealing. And these are the two things. And I'm also seeing there's a problem with your uterus. The uterus is slightly loose. And you will see this as it will affect your menstruation cycle. And it will also lead you to have there's also a small cyst that's developing in the left side of the fallopian tube. So this is what is like a very mild cyst that's developing. So this is what was revealed. And there's also another thing that I'm saying is that you have a deep suffering that you have inside you, where you have this cognition that how much ever you do for life, life will still not be fair to you. What is rightfully yours, you do not get that. There's a deep-rooted suffering which is there sitting inside you, which is the result of multiple years of different problems that you are facing. And you feel like many people are being against you and they are jealous of you. And because of that, you do not have what is rightfully yours. And this suffering is there inside you, which is what is affecting the lower abdomen, your uterus, etc., which is affecting your mood also. If you see quite often, like this has been there for years now, and like especially the last 2 years, you would have even had some tendency like, oh, why I should live at all. Like a suicidal tendency will just come inside you, though it's not a fully spelled thought, but extremely life negative thought currents are happening inside you. And that in turn results in you having extra body weight. If you observe, your body weight will be more towards your lower half. Like you would see your lower belly would be slightly bigger, your thighs would have more fat, like your lower body would have more weight because this thought is there in your abdomen, and that is what is creating all these issues for you. So that thought current needs to be completed. You need to have a lot of healing, like just have a photo of Swamiji as Parashakti, put it on next to your pillow and sleep as you're sleeping on her lap whenever you go to sleep. Do this for 21 days. A deep completion will happen with your mother. And do the completion process. There is a satsang, that's where Swamiji explains about completion with yourself and completion with others. Do watch that and understand how, if you just understand that, and when the completion happens, automatically the relationship that you have with your close family members will get healed. And it will automatically reflect in you have that mood swings also going, and the hormonal imbalance, everything will just start becoming normal. So this is what was revealed. Please to acknowledge. You can put it in the comments and acknowledge. This is for Ma Shanbhagavalli Reddy.
Yes, Ma Shanbhagavalli Reddy. Please to get back to us in the comment section, and just so that we can be sure that you heard the scan that we are requesting. And Ma Sumimu Reddy, I would like to share with you also what I saw. So one thing that I saw in the third eye is that actually, Ma, your son, not just during the night, even during the day, there are issues that he has with the teeth. And we suggest that you take him to the dentist and take the dentist consultation also. If you see there's a growth on the right side behind the last part of his teeth on the right side and on the upper jaw, and there's a growth not of a teeth, but there's some growth which is happening behind his teeth. So that is one thing, which is, and also if you check when he's brushing, the gums bleed. So there is a weakness that is happening, and the teeth has become sensitive. And this is absolutely got nothing to do with his emotions or anything, but the oral health overall of your son is it needs to be attended to. And also one thing that I saw is just every day taking neem juice, there's a buildup of germs that is happening, which is causing that sensitive teeth, because the one I'm seeing like some layer is coming off. This is because of some drink that he's having, some kind of it might be water or any juice, anything, some intake is causing a particular reaction with his teeth. The that minerals or something from that liquid he's consuming is causing a reaction with his teeth, which is kind of affecting one layer of his teeth, which is causing this reaction. If you ask him, actually he'll have a lot of sensitivity and he'll feel like very he'll have to chew. He'll feel very loose and very jittery in this area at times, and he'll experience gums bleeding. So what he needs to do is he needs to take harita tea, salt and pink salt and charcoal, and brush his teeth once after he brushes. Normally brush his teeth with his fingers and give a good massage to his gums. And please also take him to the dentist and kindly get the dentist consultation before you apply this solution. But this is what I saw in the study. This has got nothing to do with his incompletions or anything. This is purely physical and which needs to be attended to as soon as possible. So this is what I had seen, and I also request you to kindly acknowledge if you heard this.
And Ma Shanbagavalli Reddy has acknowledged, saying thank you so much, Ma. Also, Ma Shanbagavalli Reddy, I request if you could acknowledge, saying like if you are able to relate with everything that was shared, so you can post that also in the comment section, Ma.
Yes. Rajvinder Koraya, sorry, just one, I have seen you have requested, please provide a scan for Ma Bimla Devi and consent given yesterday. This works where at that moment that person has to give, means on that day at least, like they should be informed that we are doing, and only then we'll be able to connect to that person and scan. And this is the way Swamiji has designed the software. So requesting you, now we will be moving on to the further segments. But what you can do is, every day around the same time, around 2:15 a.m. Indian Standard Time, we'll be beginning this power manifestation segment. So you can tune in at that time and inform Ma and let us know. We can definitely do this.
Yes, and Ma Zenkia, so sorry, Ma, actually now we are concluding the segment. So requesting if we could come back tomorrow so we could do the scan. And Ma Shanbagavalli Reddy has acknowledged, saying yes, Ma, very true. Thank you so much, Ma. We could also acknowledge, like I just wanted to be sure, like if you're able to relate to all the aspects. That's all. Now, thank you so much for everyone that had joined today and have been tuned into the program. Now we are going to be continuing with the further segments.
So stay tuned with us. We'll be entering into the next segments. And today at 5:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time, we have the Dvajarohanam, the celebrations, the beginning, the flag hoisting and beginning of the celebrations of the grand Nithyanandeshwara Brahmotsavam celebrations. So we request all of you to stay tuned with us for upcoming celebrations and live events. And we'll be right back with the next segment after a short break. Thank you all. Nithyananda.
We get you help. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailasians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you, and make you interested in enlightenment science. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home, without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive. Somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity.
welcome back, dear viewers. So now let us enter into the next segment and understand who is Devi Parashakti, the divine feminine consciousness. So the Dhyana Shloka for Devi Parashakti describes that the Divine Mother is to be meditated upon as shining in a vermilion red body with the triple eyes, sporting a crown of rubies, set of the crescent moon, a face all smiles, a splendid bust, one hand holding a jewel cup brimming with mead, and the other twirling a red lotus. I meditate on the great Empress. She is red in color, and her eyes are full of compassion, and holds the noose, the goad, and the bow and the flowery arrow in her hand. She is surrounded on all sides by powers such as Anima, and she is a self-within being. Devi is the ultimate pure feminine consciousness. Parashakti is a cosmic mother. It is her cosmic womb from which billions and billions of universes come out and go in. Source by the Big Bang and black holes go on. Parashakti is a source Shakti, source energy, source power, from which all of us came, in which all of us are even now, in which all of us are going to merge. And in the words of Devi Parashakti herself, describing herself, raising as Omkara, expressing as the Vedas and Agamas, blossomed as Dreamkara, filled as Parashakti, living in the 40 triangles, the Kailasa Swamini, who is the Kailasa Tripura Chintamani, Parashakti, sitting as part of Paramashiva, Parameshwari, who rules the world, Paramashakti, Manoman, Meenakshi. As Nityananda, I took Nijavatara here to give good boon to everyone, to bestow all goodness. Hiranyagarbhaswarupi, Brahmanda Yoni, Shami, Chandramauli, Rapala, Aparna, Uma, Parvati, Savitri, Navayavana, Samraj Lakshmi, Parameshwari, Parashakti, Meenakshi. Taking the form of Nityananda, I came here as Nijavatara. With great compassion, I am blessing listen people. To do good to all of you, I took the form of Nityananda and came down as Nijavatara. And Devi continues on, raising in Omkara, blossoming as Shiva. Shiva manifesting as the source of existence, the powers of existence, the expression of existence. From the oneness of Om, blossoming into two as Prakriti and Purusha, blossoming as the three Shaktis, Ikshakti and Jnana, growing as the four Vedas, expanding as the five Panchbhutas. Beyond the six chakras, filled as the Gotaras of the seven rishis, expanding as the eight directions, existing as the nine grahas, blossoming as the 10 indriyas, being as the 11 rudras, creating all the world, bringing life to tell and make truth blossom, and to do good. Parashakti, Meenakshi. In the form of Nityananda, I came to bless every one of you. So how can we receive Devi Parashakti? In the words of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, literally you are seeing Paramashiva and Parashakti at that moment. She is there in your screen, so always receive her very traditionally. Keep 2 betel leaves, 1 banana, 1 betel nut, and 1 coin in front of the screen. Watch Devi. This coin is considered the traditional dakshina. In the Hindu tradition, it can be even the lowest value. In India, it can be even 1 paisa. In the US, it can be even 1 cent. I'm not trying to monetize here, even 1 cent. So for 100 days, if you have darshan, it will add up to $1. You can offer that to Devi, and after the darshan is over, do namaskar and eat the banana, the betel leaf, and betel nut. Sorry for the technical glitch. We'll be right back with those slides as we are continuing with the program. You can take a few minutes now to go ahead and join as a member of Kailasa's SPH on the YouTube channel. So you can go to the YouTube channel and you'll see the join button next to the subscribe button. You can join as a member. And once you've joined as a member, you will have the opportunity to ask your questions during the live Parashakti Akashic reading program and during the live darshan and during the live satsang. You will be able to ask your questions directly to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
We get you help. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailasians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness, we can support you, aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment science. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive. Somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being Paramashivam. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashivam will reach you with enlightenment science. I know he is going to do the job. Just be alive for next 3 years. Nothing else.
What I mean by the word Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is Kailasa.
I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model communities. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Pitas all over the world.
All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth.
Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem.
Welcome back, dear viewers. So now we have some very exciting news to share with all of you today. We have Kailasa has established bilateral agreements between the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa and the Blantyre city of Malawi. So the city of Blantyre, the oldest city in Malawi, is a center for finance, industry, and commerce, and the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa, the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation, the first nation of Hindus to enter into the bilateral relation, emphasizes their similar values on cultural understanding, religious freedom, the Sarva Swatantratva, eradication of hunger, youth leadership, holistic health, and education initiatives, exchanges to educate citizens, environmental stewardship, and sustainable living. You can see the bilateral agreement between Sri Kailasa Nation and the city of Malawi, the Blantyre city of Malawi. So this is very exciting news, and you'll be hearing more about the happenings of Kailasa, the nation, and the recognition of Kailasa from various nations, countries, and governments and leaders across the globe. And so do stay tuned and continuously stay in touch and connected via Facebook and all of the other social media platforms. So now let us enter into the next segment and understand what Devi Parashakti has revealed as the sacred secret of Hindu birth. So Devi Parashakti has been continuously manifesting and blessing, guiding, and healing the whole world. And Devi has revealed many secrets of the universe, has revealed many secrets about the pandemic and the happenings of our reality today. So let us see what Devi Parashakti has revealed about the sacred secret of Hindu birth. And as we're getting ready to enter into this segment, you can take a few minutes now to like and follow Kailasa's SPH and Paramachivam Facebook page, and constantly stay connected, constantly stay in touch and know the current news and updates about Kailasa and all the happenings of Kailasa and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Constantly stay updated about the darshans and the satsangs that will be happening. And today we will be having a very special Rajarohanam for the Nityananda Promotvam that will be starting today. So do stay tuned at 5:30 a.m. sharp. We will be having the Bhajaronam to kick off the Nityanandeshwara Brahmotsavam, 10-day festival to celebrate Nityanandeshwara, Nityanandeshwari, and Swamiji. So yes, let us listen to Devi Parashakti's revelations on the sacred secrets of Hindu birth.
நன்றாய் கேட்டுக்கொள். உன் கேள்விக்கு உன்மூலமாய் உலகெங்கும் இருக்கும் இந்துக்கள் எல்லோர்க்கும் அளிக்கின்றேன் உத்திரம். கேட்டு வாழ்ந்தால் உங்கள் வாழ்க்கை பத்திரம். நன்றாய் கேளுங்கள். பிறப்பின் ரகசியத்தை பிறப்பிலா பெருமை உடைய பரமேஸ்வரி சொல்லுகின்றேன் கேளுங்கள். அண்டஜம், யோனிஜம், ஜலஜம், பீஜம் எனும் 4 விதமான பிறவிகளில் 84,000 யோனிகளில் பிறக்கும் பிறப்புகளிலேயே பெருமை வாய்ந்ததும் உத்தமமானதும் மனித பிறவி. அந்த மனித பிறவியிலும் பலமுறை பிறந்து உழன்று அரசியல், பொருளாதாரம், சுகபோகம், தர்மம், அர்த்தம், காமம் எனும் ஆசைகள், துக்கங்கள், அச்சங்கள் அனைத்திலும் அழன்று உழன்று இனி வேண்டாம் இப்பிறவி, வேண்டுவது மோட்சமே என்று முடிவெடுத்தோர்க்கு மட்டுமே ஹிந்து மத யோனிஜம், ஹிந்து பெற்றோர்க்கு பிறந்திடும் சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம யோனிஜம், மனித பிறவி உத்தமம், சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம மனித பிறவி உத்தமோத்தமம். இந்த உத்தமோத்தம பிறவி எடுத்த எல்லோருக்கும் ஜீவன் முக்த விஞ்ஞானத்தையும் சனாதன தர்மத்தையும் காக்கின்ற கடமையும் உண்டு. அதனால் வருகின்ற நன்மையெல்லாம் அனுபவிக்கும் உரிமையும் உண்டு. இந்த கடமையை செய்வோம் என்று சத்தியம் செய்ததனால்தான் அந்த உரிமை அளிக்கப்பட்டது. பூமிக்கு வந்தபின் மனம் மயங்கி மதிமயங்கி சனாதன தர்மம் காக்க மறந்ததனால் மாயை அவர்கள் உயிரை பறிக்கின்றாள். நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உயிரை கொடுத்தாலும் தர்மத்தை காப்போம் என்று உறுதி எடுத்தவர்க்கே சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம யோனிஜம் அளிக்கின்றேன் யான். உடல் பெற்ற பிறகு ஊழிப் பெருவலியால் ஆசை அச்சங்களை உதறவிடாது, உதறியும் விடாது சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்மம் காக்க மறந்தோரை உயிர் வாழத் தகுதியில்லாதவர் பட்டியலில் உடனடியாய் மாயை சேர்க்கின்றாள். அதனால் ராட்சசர்களும் அசுரர்களும் தானாகவே இவர்கள் உயிரை எடுக்கின்றார். நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உயிரை கொடுத்தாலும் தர்மம் காப்போம் என்று நிற்பவர்க்கு நிலைத்திடும் வீரஸ்வர்க்கமும் கைலாச பதவியும், எக்காரணம் கொண்டும் தர்மம் காக்க மறந்த உத்தமோத்தம ஜனனமான சனாதன ஹிந்து ஜனனம் பெற்ற மக்களுக்கு இல்லை வேறு கதி. சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம மனித ஜனனம்
உத்தமோத்தம மனித ஜனனம். உங்கள் உரிமை உலகில் அதிகம், உங்களுக்கு கடமையும் உலகில் பெரிது. தர்மம் காத்தாலே கடமை, தர்மம் காக்காதார்க்கு உயிர் வாழும் உரிமை இல்லை. நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உத்தமோத்தம பிறவியான சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம பிறவி எடுத்த எல்லோரும் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உங்கள் வாழ்வின் முதற்கடமை தர்மம் காத்தல். தர்மம் காக்க தர்மம் உங்களை காக்கும். சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்மம் காக்க மறந்திட்டால் வாழும் உரிமையை நீங்கள் இழந்து விடுகின்றீர்கள். அதற்கு மேல் வாழ்ந்தென்ன அழிந்தென்ன? பூமிக்கு பாரம் குறையட்டும் என்று அசுரர்களும் ராட்சதர்களும் உங்களை உண்டு தீர்க்கின்றார்கள். அதையும் மாயை கண்டு சும்மாவிருப்பாள். பிரபஞ்ச ரகசியத்தை, பிறவியின் ரகசியத்தை உலகிற்கெல்லாம் உத்தரமாய்ச் சொல்லிவிட்டேன். புரிந்து வாழ்வில் நடந்து உயிரை பத்திரமாய் பார்த்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள். அன்னை சொல்லும் அருள் சத்தியம் இது. ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
sorry for the technical glitch. So, yeah, let us look at the translation of Devi Parashakti's words. Listen, Andajam, Yonijam, Jalajam, Bijam, like this, in 4 types of birth, in 84 lakh yonis. In all these births, the most greatest birth of them all is the human birth. We can continue to the next slide, please. Even in that human birth, being born and toiled many times, after getting burnt and toiled in politics and finance, in luxuries, in dharma, artha, kama. And those who decide of not wanting this birth, wanting only moksha, only those will have Hindu dharma yonijam, the Sanatana Hindu dharma yonijam of being born to Hindu parents. Human birth is uttamam, the best. Sanatana Hindu dharma human birth is uttamottamam, the best of the best. Everyone who took this uttamottama birth has a responsibility of protecting the science of living enlightened and Sanatana dharma. And also they have the right of experiencing its benefits. This right was given to them because of their commitment given by them to do this responsibility. After coming to Bhuloka by getting mentally deluded and forgetting the dharma of protecting Sanatana dharma, Maya, she is taking away all their souls. Understand carefully, I am giving the Sanatana Hindu dharma yonijam only for those who gave the commitment of protecting Sanatana dharma even by giving their life. After getting the body because of painful delusion, not dropping fear and greed, for those who forgot to protect Sanatana Hindu dharma, Maya, she will immediately add them all to the list of those who are not worthy of living. Therefore, Rakshasas and Asuras automatically are taking away their life. Understand properly, for those who stand that even by giving their life, they will protect Dharma, will permanently have Virasvarga and Kailasa Padavi. For any reason, people who forgot to protect Dharma, having the Uttamottama birth of Sanatana Hindu birth, there is no other way for them. Sanatana Hindu Dharma human birth is Uttamam. It is Uttamottama human birth. Your rights in this world are immense. Also, your responsibility in this world is large. Protecting Dharma is responsibility. Those who do not protect Dharma, they do not have the right to live. Understand properly, all those who took the Uttamottama birth, which is Sanatana Hindu Dharma birth, all of you understand. The first responsibility of your life is protecting Dharma. If you protect Dharma, Dharma will protect you. If you forget to protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma, you lose the right of living. After that, what bothers whether you live or get destroyed? Asuras and Rakshasas will eat you, so that the burden on earth is reduced. Seeing that, Maya, she will quiet. So now, let us understand what is the responsibility of Hindus and why we need a Hindu nation to fulfill that responsibility. Hinduism represents the world's most ancient yet progressive indigenous spiritual tradition. It is an open framework model of civilization that stands for global peace, vegetarianism, non-violence, yoga, worship of nature, temple-based living, manifesting spiritual powers, and the inherent divinity of every being. The Hindu nations were ecosystems where more and more enlightened beings could be produced, so that enlightened civilization could be kept alive and its great gifts shared with the world. Let us look at some of the references of Hindu nations from our Hindu scriptures. The first reference we'll be looking at is the reference of the Rama Rajya, the Hindu nation ruled by Bhagavan Rama, mentioned in the Valmiki Ramayana. There were no widows to lament, nor there was any danger from wild animals, nor any fear born of diseases. The world was bereft of thieves and robberies. No one felt worthless, nor did old people perform obsequies concerning youngsters. Every creature felt pleased. Everyone was intent on virtue. Turning their eyes towards Rama alone, creatures did not kill one another. And the description continues on. People survived for thousands of years with thousands of their progeny, all free of illness and grief. The trees were bearing flowers and fruits regularly without injury by pests and insects. The clouds were raining in time, and the wind was delightful to the touch. Every caste was performing their own duties, satisfied with their own work and bereft of any greed. People were intent on virtue and lived without telling lies. All people were endowed with excellent characteristics. All were engaged in virtue. And the Hastinapur kingdom ruled by Yudhishthira was described in the Srimad Mahabharata as Devas granted rains to fulfill all wants. The world became free of all diseases. There was no hunger or thirst anywhere. There was no mental suffering. Those without livelihood were given livelihood. There was abundance all around. There was no worldly worries left for anyone. And there was no cause for fear either. Happiness on earth was in fact even greater than in the heavens. Let's look at some of the contributions of our Hindu nations. Hindu nations, every field, whether it was in the field of enlightenment, health, medicine, art, science, technology, aviation, dance and music, clothes and jewelry, social systems, judicial systems, political systems, legal systems, in every field, Hindu nations gave breakthroughs. Let us see how our Hindu nations were destroyed over the course of 1,000 years. Hindu nations faced a three-phase attack, and which led to the destruction of our Hindu civilization. The first phase were the Islamic invasions between 800 and 1700 AD. This was a physical destruction of the Hindu civilization. Will Durant, a famous historian, has described the Mohammedan conquest of India as probably the bloodiest story in history. The Islamic historians and scholars have recorded with great glee and pride the slaughters of Hindus, forced conversions, abduction of Hindu women and children to slave markets, and the destruction of temples carried out by the warriors of Islam during 800 to 1700 AD. Millions of Hindus were converted to Islam by sword. Millions more were put to death and were raped, murdered, and dismembered. The description of the Islamic law prescribed for Hindus conveyed by Khilji describes that Hindus are like mud. If silver is demanded from them, they must with greatest humility offer gold. If a Mohammedan desires to fit into a Hindu's mouth, the Hindu should open it wide for that purpose. God created Hindus to be slaves of the Mohammedans. The Prophet hath ordained that if Hindus do not accept him, they should be imprisoned, tortured, and finally put to death, and their property confiscated. To keep Hindus in abasement is especially a religious duty, because they are the most inveterate enemies of the Prophet. And the Islamic invasions, as you can see, were extremely barbaric. Over the course of the invasion, 200 million Hindus were slaughtered by Muslim invaders, 100,000 Hindu temples were destroyed, and over 1 million deities and sculptures were destroyed. And the description of the invasions: the conquering armies burnt villages, devastated the land, plundered people's wealth, took Brahmins and children and women of all classes captive, flagged them with thongs of raw hide, carried a moving prison with them, and converted the prisoners to obsequious Turks. So the next phase of the destruction of the Hindu civilization came with the British occupation between 1700 and 1947 AD. This was the economic and psychological destruction of the Hindu civilization. Will Durant again has described, I have seen a great people starving to death before my eyes, and I am convinced that this exhaustion and starvation are due not, as their beneficiaries claim, to overpopulation and superstition, but to the most sordid and criminal exploitation of one nation by another in all recorded history. And during the British occupation, the British Empire used all possible means to destroy Hindu civil and cultural institutions in order to delegitimize and demoralize the indigenous people of India, so that they would become slaves in their own homeland. This included discriminatory laws to instill feelings of racial inferiority, engineering artificial famines to starve natives into submission, annexing the Hindu kingdoms to undermine the native rule, mistranslating the Hindu scriptures to instill anti-Hindu narratives, destroying the indigenous Gurukul system, which was the backbone of the Hindu civilization, destroying the local industries and forcing importation of British goods, and banning Indians from owning firearms or producing firearms. During the British occupation, over $45 trillion was looted from India over the course of 200 years, and 45 million Hindus were put to death due to artificial famines and imposed poverty by the British, and over 680 native kingdoms were usurped by the British Raj. Sajid Tharoor of the Indian Parliament has described, the British came to one of the richest countries of the world. Over 200 years of exploitation, looting, and destruction reduced it to a poster child of third world poverty. And the next phase of the destruction of our Hindu civilization came with the secularization of India after independence between 1947 and the present day. This has been ruled by brown-faced British attitudes and policies toward Hindus. Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, has described what a disgusting, savage people we are. Politics, progress, socialism, communism, science, where are they before the black religious savagery? India can never be a Hindu republic. B.R. Ambedkar, the first law minister and principal architect of the Indian Constitution, has described, if Hindu Raj does become a fact, it will no doubt be the greatest calamity for the country. No matter what the Hindus say, Hinduism is a menace to liberty, equality, and fraternity. It is incompatible with democracy. Hindu Raj must be prevented at any cost. So you can see that these are two of the first leaders of the so-called secular India, but clearly they had a very anti-Hindu agenda. And the modern Indian legal system, academia, media all systematically undermines, suppress, and delegitimize the Hindu institutions and culture. And this has been done through various ways, like the Hindu kingdoms and self-governance has been completely abolished. Anti-superstition laws have been passed to criminalize Hindu practices, and the Indian Constitution discriminates against Hindus by offering special rights and benefits to non-Hindus. This includes government benefits and scholarship. The media has also been used to stereotype and demoralize Hindus. Bollywood and other mainstream media outlets consistently portray Hindus, gods, and gurus as cartoonish, dishonest, corrupt sect fiends in a manner that is similar to the British imperial propaganda. The media narratives have been used to shape human consciousness and further political agenda. Racist British colonial stereotypes portray Hindus as superstitious, backwards, dishonest, and corrupt, and are perpetuated by their British brown successors in modern day India, completely unabated. So let us look at the revival of the Hindu nation. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has described the vision for the civilization. During the time of the Mahabharata, we Hindus had 56 deshas, 200 states, 1,700 samsthanas, 10,000 sampradayas. In all 56, we Hindus are persecuted. Now we have lost all the 56. The last of all was Nepal. I am the collective voice of all the persecuted Hindus. I will revive and rebuild a Hindu nation, built on Vedagamic principles as a refuge for all the practicing and aspiring Hindus, as a safe haven for all the persecuted Hindus. So what is Kailasa? This revival of Kailasa, the Hindu nation, is for reviving this whole life of enlightened civilization and all the great things it has to offer the world, bringing legitimacy to all the offerings of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and sharing it with the whole world is the purpose of this Kailasa, the Hindu nation. The administration of Kailasa is the revival of the cosmic constitution. Kailasa is the model nation of how enlightened civilization should be living and administered. Politics, judiciary, education, economy, everything will be revived as Paramashiva revealed in the Vedagamic scriptures, the Sanatana Hindu Dharma scriptures. Hinduism being one of the most persecuted civilizations, Hinduism is on the brink of extinction, such that the next generation may know about our Hindu scriptures only through Hinduism only through our textbook. So what can we do to stand up for Hindu civilization and all that it has offered to the world? Today, Hinduism is a political orphan. Preservation and restoration of Hinduism's spiritual, cultural, and cultural heritage is impossible without a national identity. So what can we do to save Hinduism? It is time to reclaim our Hindu identity. As Devi Parashakti has revealed, we have been given this Hindu Dharma Yonijam, this Hindu birth, because we've committed to protect Hinduism. However, after coming to Bhuloka, we've got deluded and forgotten this responsibility that we have taken up. So now it is time to reclaim our Hindu identity. We need to understand that Hinduism is responsible for our successful life. If you are wealthy, healthy, rich, successful, peaceful, happy, respectable, have a stable family life, have the best mental health, and you are Hindu, you need to understand that Hinduism is responsible. Hindu identity is responsible. Hindu scriptures are responsible. It is our Hindu scriptures which have given us the best mental setup. All the best things that we Hindus have are from our Hindu scriptures. And Hindus are amongst the richest and most successful ethnic community in the world. Hindu scriptures, Hindu lifestyle, our enlightened masters are responsible for this. Our Hindu thought currents are responsible for this. And just to give an example, in the Hindustan Times, it was reported that Hindus are the most educated religious group in the US, according to a Pew study report. So let us reclaim our Hindu identity. We need to understand that it is not just the anti-Hindu elements being active. It is the responsible Hindus being inactive that is responsible for this whole destruction of Hinduism. Let us now take the responsibility for Hinduism and all that the Hindus all over the world reclaim our Hindu identity. Let us understand a little bit more about the responsibility of Hindus as revealed by Devi Parashakti. It is the responsibility of Hindus to revive this enlightened civilization again and again and give all the gift of the enlightened civilization to humanity. The revival of the enlightened civilization, the Kailasa, is the Hindu nation, is the survival need of humanity. So this is an invitation to all of the Hindus out there, those who are born Hindus, those who are practicing Hindus, those who are sympathetic towards Hinduism, those who are curious about Hinduism, those who want to explore and enjoy Hinduism. Come and become a part of this revival of Kailasa. You can sign up to be an e-citizen of Kailasa by visiting kailasa.org and signing up to be an e-Kailasan. You can avail all the benefits that Hinduism has to offer to the world and share it with everyone. Become a part of this revival of Hindu civilization. So now let us hear from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself about the need for Kailasa and the only Hindu nation.
Contribution. Hinduism, Veda Agamas have great things to contribute to the world. Like the great power manifestation science, the ancient culture and arts, the ancient lifestyle truths, the ancient medical practices and medicinal knowledge, the ancient indigenous cultural heritage and jewelry, perfume, dance, music, in every level, Hinduism has so much to contribute. Veda Agamic traditions have so much to contribute. To share all this with the world, to contribute to the world. Hindus need to tell the world what they are contributing in every level. The brand of Hinduism itself is enriching and empowering and enlightening. Hinduism is all about enlightening the world. Empowering, enlightening, enriching the world. Contributing. That is our spiritual life. That is our spiritual strength. That is our spiritual core principle. O humanity, I request you with folded hands, some one corner of the world. If you just give me few hundred acres, I will keep this whole science alive. Leave it for the whole humanity freely. Fortunately, Paramashiva has given me the power to decode all this Hindu medicinal system, Hindu judiciary system, Hindu social law and order system, Hindu power manifestation system, Hindu mental sciences system, Hindu yogic sciences, the sciences of Hindu biology, Hindu physics, Hindu psychology, Hindu physiology, Hindu chemistry, all this Paramashiva has given me the power to decode. Whatever the remaining scriptures are available with the humanity, Paramashiva has blessed me, and I have collected. Not only I have collected and organized, I can decode. This whole science can be kept alive in any one corner of the world. Just few hundred acres are given for me to live peacefully and exist peacefully. I can store this whole thing alive and contribute it to humanity. Humanity can become better and better and better. I can make the planet Earth so much better place to live. I am here to contribute, and I will continue to contribute. As long as I am allowed to live, I will contribute. I have collected all the remaining available scriptures, maybe 2 crore books. 2 crore means 20 million, I think, books on Hindu physics, Hindu chemistry, Hindu biology, Hindu physiology, Hindu psychology, Hindu law and order, Hindu social system, the power manifestation sciences of Hinduism, yogic sciences of Hinduism. I have collected, and Paramashiva has given me the blessings and power to decode. I have decoded and continuing to decode them. If the humanity, somebody is kind enough to give me few hundred acres in one corner of the world and let me live peacefully, I can keep all the scriptures there and go on sharing with the world, revealing this whole sciences to the world, and go on contributing. I don't need anything other than 1 cup of curd rice every day. That's all. A cup of curd rice per day over. I can go on be giving this to the world. I can add to the world. I can make the world better place to live. That's all I have to say. Thousands of medicines are described detail in ancient Siddha and Ayurvedic scriptures. Paramashiva has given me the power to decode them, read them, and properly translate and map them to the modern day human language. And I am ready to work 20 hours a day. I just need few hundred acres where I can sit peacefully and keep this library, run a Gurukul where thousands of people can learn this and share it with the world. Understand? I am only interested in contributing. If we can decode all this great knowledge, whole world can prosper from this knowledge. Whole world can enjoy from this knowledge. If I prosper, I will only create a university. I will not create anything else. If the Hindus prosper, they will only create education institutions. Because Hinduism is all about giving, contributing. If I prosper, I'll create university, that's all. Kailasa is all about university to decode the ancient sciences and share with the world. Understand? Every day I am sitting and going on decoding, writing notes on my books and writing details on my books. Whether it is making human beings manifest powers, and I have also now started downloading and decoding the science of making animals manifest powers. Whether making people manifest powers or healing, in every level, life is all about contribution.
As the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism reveals, Hinduism is all about contribution. And as Devi Parashakti reveals, it is our responsibility to continuously protect Hinduism and Sanatana Dharma and all the great gifts that Hinduism has to offer to the world. You can become a part of the revival of Kailasa, stand up for Hinduism, and be a part of this revival of Kailasa by signing up to be an e-citizen of Kailasa. You can visit kailasa.org and sign up to be an e-Kailasa today. So now with this, we will be concluding this portion of the program. We'll be entering into the next segment, the offering segment, where we will understand some of the various offerings that we can make to Devi Parashakti. As all of us know, Devi has been continuously manifesting through the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And if you want to offer your love and gratitude to the divine cause of thunder, manifesting through your very own Guru, you are welcome to stay tuned for this next segment and listen to some of the offerings that you can make to Devi Parashakti. And do stay tuned for the remaining of the program, as we will be having the Dvajaronam at 5:30 a.m. IST. We will be kicking off the Nityanandeshwara Brahmotsavam with this the flag hoisting, and you will get to be a part of all of the festivities and rituals. Do stay tuned till on NCV for the rest of today's program. So now with this, we'll be entering into the offering segment.
Nityanandam, and welcome back to this segment of the program where we'll be learning more about the various traditional offerings to Devi Parashakti. And in the Hindu tradition, the offerings are a divine gift of love, devotion, and gratitude for the divine. It is that offerings are not made out of fear or greed, but as a pure expression of our sacred sentiments for the divine. And when the divine accepts what one offers, the offerings become complete. When an avatar lands, the offerings are purely a part of the grand Leela, played out only for the purpose of enlightenment. And now, as we celebrate the happening of Devi Parashakti in our lives, let us look at this Dhyana Shloka, which describes the beauty and grace of Devi Parashakti. And this verse is from the Mula Agama Manonmani Dhyana. It describes Induni Bhaveda Karavarninayanam Syat Pankajavaravaya Japakshasarayuktam Angahima Bhushana Vichitra Vasanam Syat Tungamakutojvala Manonmani Swarupam. The translation of this verse, it says, moon-like face holding Veda, hooks on hand, fire in eyes, with lotus flower gracing and blessing hands and one hand with japamala, beautifully decorated with jeweled ornaments in wonderful clothes and shining crown. Her name is Manonmani. And another verse from the Mulagama Manonmani Dhyana describes Dhyaet devim trinetram shashinibhavadanam vedahastam dadanam savye padmam varadamapare chabhayam chakshamalam divyair abharanair vibhushitatanum brahmadivit pujitam devi meva manonmanim pratidinam kamarthadatrim shubham. In the translation of this verse, it says, I meditate on Devi with 3 eyes, glowing like a moon and holding the Veda, lotus, and gracing with blessing and gracing hands. She is wearing beautiful ornaments. She is worshipped by Brahma and other many gods and showers auspicious boons for all actions every day. And in the Hindu tradition, the sacred element of gold is used in abundance in the various rituals and the offerings to the divine. Let us look at this verse from the Atharva Veda, which describes one of the many significance of the divine element of gold. It describes Tredhajutam janmanedam hiranyam agnirekam priyatamam babhuva somasyaikyam insitasya parapatata apamekam veda samreta ahutatte hiranyam tridastvai vishe. The translation for this verse, it says, triply born by birth is this gold. From the atoms of Agni is one. It becomes dearest to Agni. One fell away from the Soma when it was hurt. One they call the seed of virtuous and powerful Apa, the watery molecules. Let that triple gold be for your long life. Gold is a divine element in the Hindu tradition. It purifies anything it touches. It is an element of great spiritual significance and spiritual power, of healing and enlightening. The vibration of gold has the power to infuse sattva energy and positive thought currents in anyone who wears and in anyone who sees or operates in its vicinity. And gold is present in all the scriptures, in the Hindu scriptures, the Agamas, Vedas, Shrutis, Smritis, Itihasas, Puranas. In all the scriptures, it is abundantly displayed that gold is the most auspicious and purest metal which purifies our being. In the Hindu civilization, everything was built in gold, exchanged in gold. Ritual feasts were offered in gold bricks. When one was to be saved from life-threatening illnesses, gold was offered as a ritual fee. Gold was in abundance and used for weighing equivalent amounts of commodities, including cows. Kingdoms were built with huge doors made of gold. The streets would have huge columns and huge archways made of gold. Horses and cows were dressed in gold. Hindu civilization thrived on the banks of rivers of gold. Indus River was called Hiranmaya, the river of gold in Rig Veda. The river Saraswati was called Hiranyavartini in Atharva Veda. Gold is the supreme element for offering gifts to the ones you love and revere. Temples are constructed and paved in gold. Deities are made in gold and decked and adorned in gold because it preserves the enlightenment energy for thousands of years and it lasts forever. The next offering to Devi, the traditional offerings to Devi Parashakti, let us now take a look at the traditional offerings that we can offer to Devi Parashakti on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. So the first offering is the offering of the e-hundi, which is similar to the Hindi offerings in any temple in the Hindu tradition, where you can offer any token of gratitude, any amount, as your token of gratitude and devotion to Devi Parashakti. And you can make this offering in multiple currencies on the website. And this verse describes Devi as Bhakti Priya, the one who is fond of true devotion. So let us look at this verse, which describes Devi's love for true devotion. It says, Bhakti Priya, Bhakti Gamya, Bhakti Vashya Payapaha, Shambhavi Sharadaradhya, Sharvani Sharmadaini. The translation of this verse, it says, Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion and she removes all fear. If there's any fear in the minds of the devotees, Devi is sure to remove that fear. It is stated that Devi likes to be worshipped in autumn. Here it is meant the autumn of our lives, when our thoughts turn more and more inwards. The role of the divine is known and understood clearly, and the need for Devi worship then becomes stronger. Shambhavi is the consort of Shambhu, Lord Shiva. Sharadaradhya is the one who is worshipped by Devi Sharada, Devi Saraswati. Sharvani is the wife of Lord Shiva. Linga Purana says Lord Shiva is described as Sharva in his earth form. Sharmadaini is Devi who bestows happiness on devotees. And you can offer your gratitude and devotion to Devi Parashakti by offering your kanika in the e-hundi offering, your token of love and devotion through the e-hundi offerings on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas, and you can make this offering in multiple currencies and in any amount of your choice. The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Sankalpa chanting, which is the conscious resolution. And this verse from Devi Mahatmyam, chapter 12, verse 34 describes, Tayai tan mohyate vishwam shaiva vishwam prasuyate saya chittaja vijanam tushtarudim prayaschati. The translation for this verse, it says, the goddess enchants this universe and she herself gives birth to this universe. That goddess, being prayed without interest in anything, gives that knowledge that leads to salvation and gives wealth in the materialistic sense. And you can make the offering of the Sankalpa, the conscious resolution, and be blessed with the fruition of all the desires and wishes that you may be yearning for. And you can make this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Sahasranama Swarnakasu. And this is the offering of the pure gold coin, each coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti. Devi is described as Nama Parayana Prita, she who likes the repetition of her various names. And this offering of the Sahasranama Swarnakasu, each pure gold coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti. This is a very special and unique archana offered to the Mahameru of Devi Parashakti. And you can make this offering of the Sahasranama Swarnakasu on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. www.kailasamailer.com/savers, and with each coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti, which describe her Ananta Kalyana Gunas, the very divine qualities of Devi Parashakti. You are also blessed to imbibe these very same divine qualities of Devi Parashakti herself. So you can make this of the Sahasranama Swarna Kasu in 3 different denominations and any number of coins as you wish to offer on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Mukta Anguti, which is the offering of the gold finger ring embedded with pearl. And Devi is described as the one who is adorned with garlands of pearls and jewels. Let us take a look at this verse which describes the beauty of Devi Parashakti, decked in garlands of pearl and gems. It says, Muktahara lasat kirita ruchiram purnendu vaktra prabham shinjannu purakinkini manidharam padma prabhabhasuram sarvabhita falapradam girisutam vani rama sevitam Meenakshim pranatosmi santatamaham karunyavaram nidhim. The translation for this verse, it says, I bow to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has garlands of pearls and face shining like a full moon, who wears anklets that are studded with gemstones and has small bells, who is shining like the splendor of lotus, who grants all the wishes, the daughter of the mountain, who is worshipped by goddesses Vani and Rama. I remain ever bowing to the goddess Meenakshi, the ocean of compassion. And you can make this offering of the Mukta Anguti, the gold finger ring embedded with pearl, to Devi Parashakti and receive the blessings to be showered by her pure love and compassion in all your business endeavors. And you can make this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. You can make the offering in 3 different sizes. The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the gold lotus flower. And the lotus flower is a sacred flower in the Hindu tradition, and the significance of the lotus flower is described in many scriptural verses. The significance of the lotus flower in the worship of the divine is many, and one of the significance is described in this verse from the Kamikagama, which says, Ashtavidyeshwaropeta kumbhavarana samyutam sarve sasutra vastradhya hema pankaja bhushitaha sapidanassa kurachascha pakva bilva palaprabha snapanadhyaya samsiddha pramanena samanvitaha. The translation for this verse, it says, all the kalashas should be wound around with suitable thread and covered with a new cloth. They should be adorned with lotus flower made of gold. There are hundreds of scriptural references for using the lotus in the worship of Paramashiva. Almost everything in the worship of the ultimate involving the consecration of the deities of worship or meditating on the mudras and asanas used during worship involves the lotus flower, the lotus leaf, the lotus pericarp, the lotus petals. The lotus is a divine flower in the Hindu tradition. The Shakti of Paramashiva is also called a lotus. The base of the Paramashiva Linga is a lotus. The disciple of Paramashiva is also considered a lotus, the one who is about to bloom. And you can offer the gold lotus in any of 3 different sizes as you wish to offer, and be blessed to have the state, space, powers and being of Devi Parashakti in your inner space amidst any and every adverse situations in life. And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Metti, which is the gold torin. And the beauty of Devi Parashakti's sacred lotus feet is described in these verses which say, Nakaditi Sanchanna Namajjana Tamo Guna Padadvaya Prabhajala Parakruta Saroruha. The translation of this verse, it says, You whose brightness from the toenails destroy the darkness of ignorance from the minds of your devotees who prostrate at your feet, you whose brightness from your 2 feet overpowers that of the lotus flower too. And you can offer the Swarna Metti, the gold tori, to adorn the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti, and be in constant gratitude for receiving her blessings in even the most difficult aspects of life. And you can make this offering of the Swarna Metti to Devi Parashakti on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry. And Devi is described as Sudha Sharabhi Varshini, she who makes the nectar flow in all our nerves from the Sahasrara Chakra, she who gives the very pleasant experience of the ultimate. And the Swarna Mangtika represents the nectar overflowing from the Sahasrara Chakra, which is fully opened with the sacred sentiment of gratitude. And you can make the offering of the Swarna Mangtika to Devi Parashakti and receive the blessings of achieving the blissful state of overflowing gratitude in the space of complete completion. And you can make this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, and this is the traditional ritualistic offering of gratitude from disciple to Guru. And these shlokas from Saundarya Lahari describe the beauty of the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. This verse describes that the illumining splendor of Devi's toenails dispel the darkness of ignorance in the devotees prostrating at her feet, and her feet defeat the lotus in beauty. It further states that Devi's toenails that have been sharpened constantly by being touched by the crowns of celestial beings who prostrate before Devi, and Devi's lotus feet removes the ignorance of the devotees who constantly prostrate at Devi's sacred lotus feet. Tamoguna, which is the darkness indicative of the ignorance in the minds of the devotees, is removed by constantly prostrating at the feet of Devi Parashakti and attain the ultimate knowledge. So you can make the offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja to Devi Parashakti and be blessed with all the auspiciousness and blessings of Devi Parashakti and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, who is the Nija Avatara of Devi Parashakti herself. And you can register for this seva on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Vastra Seva, which is the offering of the sacred cloth. And this is the traditional offering from a devotee to be in constant gratitude for the continued protection of the divine in our lives. So you can make this offering of the sacred cloth to Devi Parashakti, the Vastra Seva, and receive the blessings with all the auspiciousness and blessings of Devi Parashakti and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. And you can make this offering of the Vastra Seva on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. Here we have a summary of the various traditional offerings to Devi Parashakti. The e-hundi offerings can be made in any amount and in multiple currencies of your choice. You can also register for the Sankalpa chant, which is the offering of the conscious resolution. You can make the offering of the Devi Sahasranama Swarnakasu, which is the offering of the pure gold coin. Each coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti. And you can make this offering in 3 different denominations and any number of coins as you wish to offer. You can also make the offering of the Mukta Anguti, which is the gold finger ring embedded with pearl. You can make this offering in 3 different sizes. The Swarna Padma Pushpa, the gold lotus flower, you can register for this offering also in 3 different sizes. The Swarna Metti, which is the offering of the gold touring to adorn the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. You can register for this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. You can also make the offering of the Swarna Mangtika, which is the gold hairline jewelry representing the overflowing nectar of gratitude from the Sahasrara Chakra. You can register for this offering on the website. And you can also register for the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, which is the ritualistic and most sacred offering of gratitude from disciple to Guru. You can register for this Seva on the website. You can also register for the Vastra Seva, which is the offering of the sacred cloth of offering to Devi Parashakti. So you can register for all of these offerings of traditional ornaments or Sevas on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And let us now take a look at the website where you can register for all of these offerings as we get ready to receive the darshan and blessings of Devi Parashakti. So here we have the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas, and you can click on the links on step 2 to make your offerings for e-hundi or the traditional offerings of ornaments and sevas. And if you'd like to make an intention today to make an offering, you can also submit the form on step 1 to receive the blessings of Devi Parashakti, to manifest your intention into reality. And if you've already made the offerings, the traditional offerings to Devi Parashakti, and would like to fill out the details of the Sankalpa, your conscious resolution, with your name and the names of your family members, you can fill out the details on step 3. You can fill out the form on step 3 with the details of your name and your family, the names of your family members. So here we have the website where you can make the offerings of the e-hundi. You can make the offering of the e-hundi in multiple currencies: the US dollar, the Australian dollar, the New Zealand dollar, the Canadian dollar, the euro, the Indian rupees, the Singaporean dollar, the Malaysian ringgit, the Great Britain pound, and the Chinese yen. And you can make this offering of the e-hundi in any amount of your choice. And if you'd like to make the traditional offerings of ornaments or sevas to Devi Parashakti, you can register for any of these offerings on the website. You can register for the Sankalpa chanting, which is the conscious resolution. The Devi Sahasranama Swarna Kasu, which is the offering of the pure gold coin, each coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti. You can register for this offering in 3 different denominations and any number of coins as you wish to offer. You can also make the offering of the Mukta Anguti, the gold finger ring embedded with pearl. You can make this offering in 3 different sizes. The Swarna Padma Pushpa, the gold lotus flower. You can make this offering in 3 different sizes. The Swarna Metti, which is the gold toe ring to adorn the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. You can make this offering on the website. The Swarna Mangtika, which is the gold hairline jewelry representing the overflowing nectar of gratitude from the Sahasrara Chakra. You can register for this offering on the website. The Pratyaksha Pada Puja and the Vastra Seva. The Pratyaksha Pada Puja, which is the traditional and ritualistic offering of gratitude from disciple to Guru. You can register for this most sacred offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas, and you can also register for the Vastra Seva, which is the offering of the sacred cloth to Devi Parashakti. You can register for any of these offerings of traditional ornaments or sevas to Devi Parashakti on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And with that, now let's get ready for the next segments of this program, where we'll be learning more about the various facilities being made available for the care and well-being of humanity through the various de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa, as guided by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself. So let us learn more about the various contributions of Kailasas to the well-being of humanity and the contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continuously guiding us through this pandemic and for the superconscious breakthrough of humanity. So let us learn more about these facilities being made available. And you can continue to register for the various sevas as we get ready to receive the darshan and blessings of Devi Parashakti.
Nityanandam everyone. So welcome back to this segment of Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies, which are now COVID care protection centers, with the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivan's blessings. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nityanandam Paramasugadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dandvatitam Gagana Sadusham Tattvamasya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Triguna Rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. So what we learned from this segment today is concerning statistics on the mental health and the global peace across the world due to the pandemic, and what are the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa's contributions for global peace, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism spiritual solutions for the mental health, global peace, and overall COVID-19, Kailasa's COVID care protection centers, wide temple-based ecosystems. UN recognizes Kailasa's contributions and join Kailasa's COVID care protection centers. The crisis that we are under. Today, people around the world are trying to grapple with the grim reality that the pandemic is far from over. The aftermath of the current calamity promises to be much more devastating. The greatest economics of the world are facing disastrous futures. Countries are facing off each other in deep mistrust. Now, let us see some statistics and current news regarding the pandemic. In this news, that painful threshold of the pandemic. Few million people, 5 million people dead due to COVID-19. How we can help, each one of us responsibility. And third wave in Africa and many other countries. Global solidarity to end the pandemic. Climate change conference and 5 key messages. The mental and behavioral health at hybrid work. National emergency in children's mental health. The UN Global News, 5 million lives lost due to COVID-19. In a statement issued to mark the crossing of this painful threshold, the UN chief said the devastating milestone reminds us that we are failing much of the world. While wealthy countries are rolling out third doses of COVID-19 vaccine, only about 5% of the people in Africa are fully vaccinated. The best way to honor these 5 million people lost and support health workers fighting this virus every day is to make vaccine equity to reality by accelerating our efforts and ensuring maximum vigilance to defeat this virus, the Secretary General of the United Nations said. COVID-19 cases surges in Africa and many other countries as the UN urges fair distribution of vaccines. And the global solidarity only together can be ended. The climate and environmental news. As the World Leaders Summit opened on day 2 of COP, the UN Chief Antonio Guterres sent a stark message to the international community. We are digging our own graves, he said, referring to the addiction to fossil fuels, which threatens to push humanity and the planet to the brink through unsustainable global heating. The 5 key messages to the world leaders. We face a stark choice. Either we stop it or it stops us. First, the 5 key messages are, first, it's time to say enough. Enough of brutalizing biodiversity, killing ourselves with carbon, treating nature like a toilet, burning and drilling and mining our way deeper. Second, keeping the 1.5 degrees goal alive. The UN chief called for greater ambition on mitigation and immediate concrete action to reduce global emissions by 45% by 2030, an effort that should be led by developed countries. We must do more to prevent vulnerable communities. Mr. Guterres highlighted that adoption measures work and that early warning systems as well as climate-smart agriculture and infrastructure save lives and jobs. The COP must be a moment of solidarity. The UN chief reiterated his call for a 100 billion climate finance commitment in support of developing countries to become a reality. Those suffering the most, namely least developed countries and small island developing states, need urgent funding. And then 5th message is build on progress. The number of countries have made credible commitments to net zero emissions by mid-century may have pulled the plug on international financing of coal, and over 700 cities are leading the way to carbon neutrality. Mr. Guterres warned that we are fast approaching tipping points that will trigger escalating feedback loops of global heating. But investing in the net zero climate resilience economy will create feedback loops on its own, virtuous circles of sustainable growth, jobs, and opportunity. Mental and behavioral health at hybrid work. Healthcare costs, COVID-19 vaccines, and behavioral health challenges are top of the mind. Employers are preparing benefits plans for a new normal and hybrid workforce and are highly focused on addressing behavioral health issues. Employers and biggest well-being challenges are raising stress and burnt out and higher mental health related claims. Employers are prioritizing increased communication to boost engagements in existing behavioral health programs over the next 3 years. Most employers, 93%, say behavioral health will be a priority for their organization over the next 3 years. 38% who are working from home today desire more flexible, mixed on-site and work from home experience in the future. Pandemic takes toll on emotional and social well-being. 29% say their mental and emotional health was deteriorated as a result of the pandemic. American Academy of Pediatricians. Pediatricians and child and adolescents, pediatrics and children's hospitals declare national emergency on children's mental health. COVID-19 pandemic has taken a serious toll on children's mental health as young people continue to face physical isolation, the ongoing uncertainty, fear, and grief. Even before the pandemic, mental health challenges facing children were of a great concern, and COVID-19 has only exacerbated them. The numbers paint an alarming picture between March and October 2020. The percentage of emergency department visits for children with mental health emergencies rose by 24% for children ages 5 to 11 and 31% for children ages 12 to 17. There was also a more than 50% increase in suspected suicide attempts, emergency department visit among girls ages 12 to 17 in early 2021 as compared to the same period in 2019. Additionally, many young people have been impacted by loss of a loved one. Recent data shows that more than 140,000 US children have experienced a death of a primary or secondary caregiver during the COVID-19 pandemic, with children of color disproportionately impacted. We were concerned about children's emotional and behavioral health even before the pandemic. The ongoing public health emergency has made a bad situation worse. We are caring for young people with soaring rates of depression, anxiety, trauma, loneliness, and suicidality that will have lasting impacts on them, their families, their communities, and all of our futures. We can't sit idly by. This is a national emergency, and the time for swift and deliberate action is now, said the AACAP President Gabrielle A. Carlson, MD. Amy Wimpy Naik, President of CHA, added, "We are facing a significant national mental health crisis in our children and teens, which requires urgent action. In the first 6 months of this year, children's hospitals across the country reported a shocking 45% increase in the number of self-injury and suicide cases in 5 to 17-year-olds compared to the same period in 2019. Together with the AAP and the AACAP, we are sounding sounding the alarm on this mental health emergency. Children and families across country have experienced enormous adversity and disruption. The inequalities that result from structural racism have contributed to disproportionate impacts on children from communities of color, the group stated in the declaration. The organizations are urging policymakers to take several actions, such as increasing federal funding to ensure all families can access mental health services, improving access to telemedicine, supporting effective models of school-based mental health care, accelerating integration of mental health care in primary care pediatrics, strengthening efforts to reduce the risk of suicide in children and adolescents, and addressing workforce challenges and shortages so that the children can access mental health services no matter where they are. Sustainable developmental goals. Making peace with the nature is possible if we start now. Making peace with the nature is possible. Even amid pandemic, 2021 can go down as the year we made peace with the nature and set the planet to healing. Our environmental, social, economic challenges are interlinked. They must be tackled together. For example, we can't achieve sustainable developmental goals, including ending poverty, by 2030 if climate change and ecosystem collapse are undermining food and water supplies in the world's poorest countries. We have no choice but to transform our economics and societies by valuing nature and putting its health at the heart of all our decisions. Now let's watch this small clip, Making Peace with the Nature. The World Health Organization Health and Peace Initiative. Health and peace are interrelated. In the words of the Director General of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros, there cannot be health without peace, and there cannot be peace without health. If individuals and groups enjoy equitable access to health services, fulfilling their rights to physical and mental health, and health actors design neutral health interventions that promote trust and dialogue, and communities are empowered to cope with violent conflict, then health coverage is more universal, grievances can be heard and addressed to generate trust around health emergency concerns, affected communities are more likely to make meaningful contributions to peace and reconciliation and to resist incitements to violence. Amid COVID, we need enhanced international coordination to build peace. United States Institute of Peace. Tackling the pandemic and building resilience in fragile states requires concerted international action at local, national, and global levels. Stronger health systems and universal health coverage must be a priority. Remarks to the General Assembly special session in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. For the first time since 1945, the entire world is confronted by a common threat, regardless of nationality, ethnicity, or faith. A new social contract between people, governments, and private sector, civil society, and more can tackle the roots of inequality with fair taxation on income and wealth, and universal benefits and opportunities for all. Now let us see the contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for the global peace. The international peace and security, Vedic tradition beautifully describes that Yastu sarvani bhutani atmani ivana pushyati sarva bhuteshu chatmanam tato navigugupshate. Isha Upanishad verse 6. The global peace is the byproduct of individual bliss. Whenever an individual goes through a spiritual bliss, he manifests a beautiful, peaceful life for him and everyone around him. If he is powerful enough, he moves the whole city and manifests peace. He is more powerful, he moves whole village or whole country. And if he is more powerful, powerful enough like incarnations, he moves the whole world and manifests peace for them. So whatever level it is, global peace is the byproduct of individual peace. So how do we get the individual peace and bliss? Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has given various techniques by practicing completion, by practicing unclutching, and various other techniques. Now, which not only address the mental health issues and leads to each individual gets the mental peace and bliss, which leads to the global peace. Let's listen from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explaining the same, the completion technique.
Today I wanted to expand on the science of completion. How the science of completion can directly impact the consciousness you are carrying and the consciousness embodied in many bodies. Please understand, the more deeper you go inside you, means more deeper space you go inside you, more expanded you become, more one with everything, more oneness you experience. Because the more deeper you go, the more you experience the unified field of consciousness. Various words are used. Some of the Hindu traditions uses the word Atma, Brahman. Some of the Hindu traditions use the word Nirvana. Whatever word you may use, Atman, Brahman, Nirvana,
unified field of consciousness, whatever. But one thing I want to tell you, the deeper and deeper you go in your inner space, you experience the vast oneness. The more superficial you are, the more incompletions you carry with others, even with yourself. The more superficial you become, even your own right hand and left hand fights with each other. Different parts of you fights with you. Different thoughts of you fights with you. Even you fight with you, the more superficial you go, the more deeper you start traveling. First, you get integrated. The you fighting with you stops. Then, the people around you get integrated. They fighting with you stops. Completion with yourself, then completion with others, then comes completion with other things, not just living beings, even with inanimate beings. The completion starts happening. Even with a nature, completion starts happening. Please understand, the more deeper you travel, the more deeper you go, the more deeper you settle down, the more deeper you start living. Your cognition expands. Your cognition includes. Your cognition becomes more and more inclusive. More joy, more bliss, more knowledge, more enlightenment. Please understand. The more and more completion happens in you, you will see everyone around you feels complete with you. That is why I am saying, whether they have body or they are disembodied, in the deepest corners of your being, deepermost layers of your being, deepest parts of your being, you experience such powerful awareness, such joy. Going into the deepermost corners of your being not only is a joy, it's a power. Because suddenly you will see everybody around you, everything around you listens to you. It really becomes a vibrant power where the tendency to exploit is not there. Listen, that's a very important thing. Power without the tendency to exploit. Because as long as you feel the other person is separate from you, when you get the power, it will always be used for exploiting. Because the other person is separate from you, then naturally what you will feel? Let me suck all the possible energy, intelligence, time, talent, treasure. But when you feel the other person is your own extension, you will see, you will be showering so much enriching so much. The power you have will not be exploiting, it will be enriching. I tell you, even if death comes at this moment, I can tell you very clearly, I can face the death directly and tell the death, I have enriched every human being more than what I received from anybody. I have given to every human being whom I met in my life more than what I received from them. My accounts is clear. I am ready. Come on, let's go. My accounts is clear. I don't have debt. No credit card money to be paid, loans to be paid, no debit card, no credit card. My accounts is clear. Understand, when you feel everyone is your extension, the power given to you, the power you gain, see, any living is power. Powerful way. Even in that, you will become powerful. So any lifestyle you choose, you will get power in that field. Whether it is exploiting or enriching, murdering or raping or go on serving. Whatever lifestyle you choose, living is power. When you go into the deepermost core of your being and start living based on completion, I tell you, the first power you will experience is everything around you listens to you. That power will simply make you enrich everyone. The best power you can have through living is power of enriching. Whatever you do, as I said, whether you live the life of enriching or exploiting, you will become powerful. I tell you, the power of exploiting brings more and more conflict within and without, and those conflicts naturally bring suffering. And the power of enriching brings more and more completion in you and in others. This full month, Nithyananda Sangha all over the world. The other day I was seeing, we have officially presence in more than 50 countries. As devotees, group of devotees, we have presence in 100 countries. All over the world, we are going to celebrate this whole month for Global Peace Month, impacting global peace. All of us this whole month will live completion and do samskara dahana kriya, means burning the patterns which separates us from others, burning the patterns which are constantly keeping us in a superficial level. All over the world, we will be doing samskara dahana kriya, burning our patterns and leading us to more and more completion. And we also have special 3 Nitya Dhyana Yoga program teaching people science of completion and facilitating samskara dahana kriya.
This month, 20th, 21st and 22nd, this whole month, all over the world, all our temples, ashrams, centers, yoga centers, schools, colleges, universities should do samskara dahana kriya, should do the practice of burning all the incompletions and patterns which leads to conflicts, bringing more and more peace inside us and outside us, spreading peace. This whole month, let's impact global peace. Let us really contribute to the global peace, not just talking about it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Not just talking about it. Let's do it. Even if you teach the samskara dahana kriya to 50 people in each area, each place where we have centers, ashrams, temples, two-way centers, yoga centers, even 50 people, each Tanidar teaches, enriches them with this science. The amount of suffering and negative waves, negative vibes reduction can contribute so much to the world. Please understand. One positive person can burn millions people negativity. Experientially, with evidence we proved, one positive person has already burnt at least 20 million people's negativity in last 10 years and brought peace. So each one of you, if you stand up as one positive being, one authentic, responsible, enriching being, I tell you, we can do so much to the world. It will be a better place than the time we entered. When we leave, it should be a better place. That's all. When we leave the earth, it should be a better place. So understand, inner peace is your birthright. Go to the depths of your being. Bring more and more completion into you. Completion with others. And start living Advaita. Today in the Inner Awakening session, it's all about completion with others. So last 6 days, literally, you worked so much, one by one by one by one by one, layer by layer by layer by layer. The completion with yourself. Now comes completion with others. Today, we are starting the science of completion with others. It's one of the most powerful science. Does so much to human beings, not just healing their relationships, even inside their consciousness, this inner space, so much of good is done. So much of awakening is done. See, when you have completed with others, the kind of strength you feel is the power of Advaita, strength of Advaita. Today the inner awakening sessions are all about completion with others. We have long session today working on completing with others. So with this, because today we have a long session with inner awakening, we are also lagging behind the syllabus. Actually, it is a good news, it's not a bad news, because participants are so sincere. They are going through the whole process so intensely, sincerely. Social answer means, I'll tell, oh, you should all work for global peace. You should all work for turning the world. You should work for revolution. You should work for all these, that things. You should vote only the party which says that it will stop the war and all these things. This is the social answer. Nonsense. If you want the honest answer, I tell you, simply transform yourself. You can't do anything. If at all you can do, you would have done it. Be honest. If you can do, you would have done it. You are raising this question because you are not able to do. Am I right? So let us be very clear. Let us be honest. We are not able to do socially. That's the truth. That's the reason you are sitting here and raising the question. I tell you, understand few important things. There are a lot more attached to this question. There are many things which is attached to this question. We always feel the present is the world is totally spoiled. It is not going according to the rules or how it is supposed to be. It was wonderful once upon a time. In ancient time, things were going properly. Everything was well and great. And I tell you, 10,000 years ago, they found some writings on stone in Harappa Mohenjo-daro culture. Some stone writings have been discovered. The other day I read a beautiful book about that stone writings. That writings, it says, oh, nowadays the society is not as it should be. So much of war. There is no peace. In the early times, there was so much of peace. Society was really great. Things were as it should be. And it almost looks like a today newspaper editorial. 10,000 years ago, the same thing carved on a stone. Then understand, there was no such time as only good prevailed. It is just a fantasy. Hinduism, they call it Satya Yuga, the age of truth. There was a time only truth prevailed. And every religion, Christianity, they say the Garden of Adam and Eve. There was a time everything was wonderful. Every religion has got the fantasy. The past was great. There was golden past. Always the idea of golden past exists only in the past. The more you go back, again you say the past was great. And I tell you one thing, it is a wonderful way of postponing accepting the reality. Otherwise, I can be sure the world was same as it is today. Whether it is 5,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago. Maybe one thing, there was no CNN channel that time. So the news did not reach you so quickly. That's all. The news did not reach you so quickly. That may be the only difference. But otherwise, I can be sure the good and the bad was equal. Good and the bad was equal. The same amount of wars were there. All the other things were there. You read the Puranas, the mythological stories of India, you see enough of things. Enough of dirty things. I think sometimes I find little more. And if you read completely the
Puranas or the Hindu scriptures, there are a lot of things much worse than modern day. The criminal activities or bad things or negative things, whatever you say, all this stuff. And never think only present day is corrupted or violent. In the ancient days also, all these things were there. Only one thing was not there, the CNN news or the internet. So the news did not reach you. But otherwise I can tell you, enough the good and bad was there. It always will exist. It will exist. All you can do is, if you awaken yourself, if you reach the enlightenment state, you can go beyond it. And I tell you, enlightenment is the only service you can do to the society. Just become enlightened so that you will reduce the negativity. Now, as of now, you are also the part of negative group. Naturally, we will be a negative group. As long as we are unenlightened, we will be the part of collective negative consciousness. So if you become enlightened, at least you will reduce your weight. That's the only thing we can do. Nothing else can be done. So all I request you to do is just become enlightened. Realize that you are a lion. That's the only way to help yourself and the society. Otherwise, all revolutions, you see, all revolution again end up as one more tradition. In last 2000 years, 3000 wars have happened in the humanity. In 2000 years, 3000 wars. Human beings have not done anything except doing wars, except fighting. Everybody claims he wants to do revolution. He wants to spread peace. You see, every country claims their army is a defensive army. Then who is offending? Tell me. Every country says defensive army. Then who is offending? These are all just, games. The idea of peace is a pure game. Everybody wants to spread the peace according to them, not according to the other person. They want peace according to them. The other day I was in one interreligious gathering. One guy is preaching, let all of you convert to my religion so that we will not have fight. He wants peace the way in which he wanted, not the way in which. And there's a beautiful saying, the sword of Muhammad, it is written, peace alone should survive, something like that. He has written some statement about the peace on the sword. We all take sword to spread the peace. So no revolution is going to help, because in the last 2000 years 3000 revolutions have happened, but still world is same, I think much worse. So no revolution is going to help, only individual evolution is going to help. So be very clear. Instead of working in the outer world, start working in the inner world. That will help you and society some way. Social answer means I'll tell, oh, you should all work for global.
Listen carefully. The space of Shanti, is where Kailasa grows. Listen carefully. It is in the deep powerfulness of peace, or peace-centered powerfulness is the ground, breeding ground for Paramashivatva to manifest. Please understand. Like how pure mirror reflects everything,
pure Shanti-based Shakti, peace-based powerfulness reflects Paramashiva. Paramashiva manifests in peace-based powerfulness. Please understand. Neither violence nor powerlessness. Powerlessness is weakness. Violence is abusive. Peace-centered powerfulness. Powerfulness-centered peace. All the Upanishads starts with peace, completes with peace. Shanti mantra. Starts with Shanti mantra, gets completed with Shanti mantra. Peace-based powerfulness is a fundamental requirement for Paramashivatva to manifest. That is why people who don't want us to manifest Paramashivatva or power manifestation do not want to allow the peace in our life or do not want peace in our campus. Understand? But only if you are peaceful, which cannot be shaken even by the demons and devils and rakshasas, we can be in eternal peace. So, remember this very clearly. Peace alters the very DNA structure, genetic structure, the core Anu Mahat structure. Understand? Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. The consciousness in you is atom inside the atom, Mahat, more than Mahat. That Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. That consciousness starts growing in you with more and more peace-based powerfulness developing in you. Nothing can be compared to unclutching. Spend more and more time, energy in unclutching. It will never be wasted. Time spent on unclutching is the most productive time for you in your life, because unclutching completely makes you altogether a different material. Understand? It makes your very biomemory, muscle memory, core structure, molecular structure, genetic structure, DNA structure, everything. All the 8 energy flow circuits, 7 energy flows, 1 the pure conscious explosion. So totally 8 energy flow circuits exist in you. All the 8 explodes when you unclutch. Understand? Unclutching is the space of Sri Kailasa. Listen carefully. Every chanting, every prayer in Hinduism ends with Shanti, Shanti, Shanti 3 times. Means peace, peace, peace. Hinduism is the real religion loving peace, living peace. Individual level, social level, global level. Understand? Hinduism lost all its 56 nations, 200 states, 10,000 kingdoms, samsthanas, is not a loss to Hinduism, it is a loss to planet Earth, human beings. Wherever Hinduism is practiced, kept alive, the ideal of global peace is kept alive. Just do this one simple statistics. You yourself study. Google and study. Take the top 10 religions and list how many people they converted in last 200 years, how many people they killed. List for each religion. I can be 200% sure you yourself will realize Hinduism is the most peace-loving and peace-living religion, neither conversion nor terrorism. Neither conversion nor terrorism. Being the Supreme Pontiff of the most peace-loving, peace-living religion, I give you all my blessings on this International Peace Day. Understand? It is we Hindus need to keep the global peace as a living possibility, and we need to make this global peace as reality. Just talking about global peace will not work. Working for global peace only is the responsibility of the real living Hindu. Anyone who wants to claim themselves as a Hindu or practicing Hindu should work for global peace. Global peace is our responsibility. Hindus have the responsibility to bring global peace. So you can also throw a challenge. See, if you are making a Hindu micronation, you can throw this challenge to each one, your friends, family, 10 people. Let them participate in the challenge and then let them send a challenge to others. So I welcome all the living and practicing Hindus to become founding fathers of Kailasa micronation in your countries. You can also make a challenge, like how they made ice bucket challenge and all that. We can make a challenge. You form Hindu micronation and claim, I am the founding father of the Hindu micronation Kailasa. And then you can invite your family, friends for a challenge. 11 people. You form and you challenge 11 people and they also form and they spread. So let us start spreading. This project is my message on this International Day of Peace. Let us start working for global peace instead of just talking. The work we do will talk for us. The talk we do will not work for us. This is the message. The work we do will talk for us. The talk we do will not work for us. Global peace is responsibility of Hindus. We living, practicing Hindus not only we should achieve the individual peace through unclutching yoga meditation, we should also create an ecosystem where the global peace starts manifesting. This Kailasa Hindu micronation is the enlightenment ecosystem. I request every living practicing Hindu to manifest, do it. So the global peace can manifest from these Kailasa Hindu micronations all over the world. Hindus have the response.
Now, Kailasa's mission for global peace and superconsciousness breakthrough. The Sovereign Order of Kailasa, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Nityananda Order of Monks, Nuns, and Hindu Diaspora, are working for global peace and to give a superconsciousness breakthrough to humanity. It is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's mission to revive a conscious world where the global issues at the climate, economic, social, health, and humanitarian levels cease to exist from their very grassroots, turning the problems of poverty, hunger, violence, discrimination into powerful living through the experience of oneness. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been working from the very grassroots level to usher in an era of peace at all levels, individual, societal, national, and global. His deep insights into the workings of the human mind, body, emotions have enabled him to powerfully and directly address various social and emotional problems facing humanity today. Some of the ways that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism provides spiritual solutions to combat the pandemic and other issues. Since the beginning of the global lockdown, the amount of contribution and activism of Kailasa has increased multifold through the Paramashivam program, bringing superconsciousness breakthrough to the whole humanity. By starting the Akanda Nirvikalpa Samadhi Jnana Yajna and contributing almost billions of minutes so far. Paramashiva Sankalpa chanting, the sacred Sanskrit mantra chanting to heal 24/7 via Zoom session. Kailasa's mission of global peace and superconsciousness breakthrough is spiritual healing to one and all 24/7. Helping humanity to cope up with insecurity, fear, disease by empowering individuals to heal themselves and learn to cope up emotions like sorry for the technical glitch. So learn to cope up emotions like depression and tough situations in relationships, providing alternative solutions to worldly problems through power manifestation. Initiating thousands every day into manifesting innate superhuman capabilities in the Kailas courtyard sessions, providing healthy solutions like a technique to clear the stomach from the Ayurveda solutions, which ultimately bring clarity out to the spiritual truths and give a conscious breakthrough. In the long term, establishing self-sufficient communities. continuing and intensifying the service of Annadan, free food in Nithyananda Annalayas around the world, including Tirunamalai and Los Angeles, paving way with the New World Order, starting the agriculture-based communities in the Adi Kailasa and several other locations. Peacekeepers of Kailasa offering various life solutions from the teachings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Hinduism prescribes various methods for global healing. One such is Maheshwara Puja, nullifying collective negativity simply through the presence of the avatar and his order of monks, offering Maheshwara Puja to the natural calamities hit victims. Bhava Samadhi Darshan to raise the individual consciousness breakthrough. Devi Parashakti, Akashic reading, the cosmic revelations. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, spiritual solutions for COVID-19. Society was created with the delusional ideas of too many human beings, blind spots, and decisions made from those blind spots. If the visionary of a civilization or country or nation has blind spots when he develops the vision for it, the whole civilization suffers those blind spots forever. Now it is the time that the nature, Prakriti resets itself, and many of the blind spots based visions, ideas become important components of the society. This pralaya which is happening is melting down everything which is delusion based. The world as we know is gone, and let us celebrate God. This isolation which is seemingly endless, which is with an unknown future, which is compelling humanity to make 100% lifestyle change, is something to be deeply dwelled upon. All problems need to be addressed only with the spiritual solutions and powerful cognitions. To stop people having mental breakdown, pandemic fatigue, collapsing, depression, destruction, and also give them superconsciousness breakthrough and revive the enlightened civilization, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continuously gives spiritual solutions and powerful cognitions. Some of the spiritual solutions and powerful cognitions are unclutching, practicing completion, practicing oneness, practicing ajapa japa of Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivam, consciously building deep feeling connection, yoga, puja, vegetarian diet, and nirahara samyama. It's time we all take responsibility to save humanity, to protect people. With the spiritual solutions provided by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and they are all free and open for all anywhere in the world can attend via Zoom sessions. Let us take few minutes now to share with as many people as possible. Let us save the world and let us give them the experience of these teachings. And for example, the experience of unclutching, one of the powerful teaching by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, which is Sanskrit we call Nirvikalpa Samadhi initiation, with started from May 2020, and people from over 50 countries continuously radiate the space of Paramashiva by practicing this unclutching meditation 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It started from 13th May in 2020. At any given point of time, there are 4 to 8 zones actively unclutching around the world. Join this movement at http://kailasa.tv/minutes for peace. The life solutions based on the ancient Hindu tradition, the meditation and yoga techniques from the scriptures, the cognitions rooted in the highest truths, the lifestyle based on living and radiating the higher values of life, and the powerful way of living and realizing one's ultimate potential form the foundation of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's teachings, which by their inherent nature provide the foundation for peace on planet Earth. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has launched the Minutes for Peace initiative, which aimed to reduce crime globally by conducting mass meditations around the world in parallel. In 2014, just after 2 years of launching the program, it crossed over 1 billion minutes of meditation. Scientific studies have shown a reduced crime rate after the participation in the meditation and completion techniques. In 1976, it was found that when 1% of a community practiced meditation and crime rate was reduced by 16% on an average. The current tally on Minutes for Peace website is more than 4.3 billion cumulative minutes of meditation logged, including all the events, programs, and festivals where people have gathered in large numbers and participated in meditations and rituals. The total count comes out to be a staggering 409 billions of minutes so far. You can see some of the glimpses. About 5,000 devotees gathered in an event, participated in a 48-day meditation program called Shuddhatvaitam. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has hosted Kumbh Mela, United States, in Los Angeles since 2007. Nityananda Sangha is entrusted as the only organization to host the Kumbh Mela outside India by the Akhila Bharatiya Akhada Parishad. In September 2006, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism organized the first confluence for the world peace to honor the memory of those who lost their lives saving others on September 11, 2001 at Irvine, California, United States. The second Confluence for Peace was held in Los Angeles in 2007 in collaboration with Vedanta Society, BAPS, ISKCON, Siddha Yoga, and other organizations. The Kumbh Mela festival spread fast to other countries, including Australia, Canada, etc. In 2009, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism organized a month-long peace walk covering 1,000 kilometers and 1,000 villages to bring together in harmony from all walks of life, to promote feeling connection and oneness among people. During the walk, health camps were conducted in villages along its path. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has conducted large-scale collective meditations on September 21st, International Peace Day, to raise the collective consciousness. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, one of the greatest contribution is initiating thousands into sannyas. Sannyas is our social responsibility. Let us save Hinduism and humanity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revitalized the monastic tradition of sannyas by initiating hundreds of people into the Nityananda monastic order. The all-renouncing monks contribute the best things of human civilization, living their life with the cognition that life is for others. These monks and nuns act as the harbingers of the peace and empowerment for the human society, distraught with violence, depression, and other forms of life negativity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived the ancient practice of embarking on pilgrimages, that is spiritual journeys, taking the spiritual aspirants to high energy sacred spots such as the Himalayas, Kailas, Varanasi, Angkor Wat, and various powerful temples of India. Even though prevalent in India, this practice is rapidly losing its original context, turning into a recreational family vacation. Reviving the original spiritual context, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made it possible for modern-day human beings to benefit from the spiritual energy present at these centers and accelerate their journey of spiritual evolution, hence ensuring the individuals and collective peace as a natural consequence. Food systems hold key to ending the world hunger. Effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, the UN has noted a dramatic increase in world hunger. According to the state of food security and nutrition in the world, 1/10 of global population, as many as 811 million people, were undernourished in 2020, an increase of 118 million from 2019. Under the Red Om, which is No Hunger Project by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, through the Annalaya, the food donation center at the Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies worldwide, under the guidance of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has served 5 billion organic sattvic meals so far. Giving free food to all the citizens is the economic policy of Kailasa, deriving the reference from Vedas and Agamas. Recently, under the humanitarian initiative Launched by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the opening of Kailasa's COVID care protection centers, where the monastery campuses have been turned into a multi-layer quarantine facility to safeguard the inmates against any possible point of contact with the outer world. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has opened this service free to all people, regardless of any differences in age, gender, caste, creed, ethnicity, color, or socio-economic status. Food, shelter, internet, and all basic facilities, including medical care, are provided at these COVID care centers, free of cost and for an indefinite period of time. The outcome has been a splendid zero infection rate so far among the participants, a feat not achieved anywhere else in the world, let alone in India. This response model of handling the COVID-19 pandemic at a community level, along with the guidelines and recommendations for governments, has been recognized and accepted by the United Nations as well. You can see the participants of the COVID care program offered by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism are enjoying a healthy, blissful, spiritual lifestyle in multi-layered protection. They enjoy stress-free time, following a spiritual morning routine, doing yoga, daily puja, temple sevas, kara sevas, and celebrating festivals and much more. They enjoy not only joy, peace, bliss, and the conscious breakthrough. So join the Kailasa's COVID care protection centers. Register now through the link below with https://kailasa.org/Kailasa care. Now, many of these COVID care centers are Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies are temple-based. Why the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism reviving the temple-based ecosystems across the world? Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has already revived so many temples, established so many temples across the world, and let's understand the temple sciences, especially now in the time when COVID-19 is rampant and the ancient temples are in a lockdown because of the risk of widespread corona disease. The devotees of these temples were visiting and having darshan of their gods and goddesses for thousands of years. Yet all these ancient sacred sentiments have come to a harming halt after the lockdowns have taken place. The religious fervor of the devotees is being lost due to the pandemic. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the e-Kailasa ecosystem and bringing all the ancient traditions of online platforms on Kailasa TV, YouTube, and Facebook. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explains that, let's watch a small clip on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism speaks about the deities holding energy when doing prana pratishtha.
Actually, after the great pause settling, I wanted to do this Kumbhabhishekam. And then the Shivacharyas have advised us that only after the Uttrayanam, Uttrayana Punyakala means after the Uttrayana starts, we are having a good date, Uttamottama date for Kumbhabhishekam. So that's the reason we waited. And see, fundamentally deity intensely receives the energy like a lightning and holds it and manifests continuously for the whole humanity. You see, it's like if I have to talk to you in a normal social language, it's like a lightning holder. I can get into the samadhi, one with Paramashiva, and bring the whole thing to planet Earth but the deity should be able to hold it and manifest it, radiate it for the humanity. So that is the reason the beautiful, dense, most dense granite deity is made. The earlier, the Avudayar we made, too much of power manifestation, it has given crack in multiple places. I don't know how you guys will be able to believe. Maybe I'll tell them to show the video. Such dense granite cracks to pieces and so carefully maintained with so much of all the Abhishekam, Puja and everything. Crack is the last thing you can imagine in dense granite, but so many places that earlier Avudayar has had, and that's the reason we made the new deity with more dense granite now. More dense granite, the deity is done, so it can withstand the power manifestation and hold the power for quite a long time. Maybe at least next 12 years it can hold. And before that I'm planning for the different level of granite for Avudayar. I wanted to teleport from the other planets where the 100 times more dense than planet Earth's granite is available. And anyhow, all that I'll do it and then show, and instead of giving material for trolls, I'll give information after everything is achieved, after everything is done.
On various occasions, Devi Parashakti revealed the Akashic readings to providing various solutions and heal people. On 19th May 2021, Devi Paramashakti revealed that to save people from Corona, I have set up a huge ship, Ananda Sarovar, Vaidya Sarovar and Ananda Lingam. I have made it in Adi Kailasa. Go there, take water every day, worship Ananda Lingam, water, turmeric, milk and neem rasam showered on Navapashanam are the medicines for this. The doors of Adi Kailasa will be open for all those who come with trust. It will protect body and will give you conscious health. It will also give highest powers. When the first world countries closed their borders during a massive global emergency, Kailasa has opened its doors to all without exception. The various across the India, various adhinams are converted into COVID care centers and are open. Kailasa rushes to aid India as India finds itself on the verge of COVID-19 third wave. Multiple free COVID care centers opened across India. Various social services offered during the pandemic in Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies across India. Spiritual services offered during the pandemic in Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies and cosmic revelations on global pandemic. The free social services offered during the pandemic in de facto spiritual embassies across India are medical care, allopathy, Ayurvedic, Siddha medicine, infrastructure to accommodate thousands, accommodation for multi-layered quarantine, emergency ambulances and ICU on wheels, personal protective medical equipment, food security management through food banks and organic farming. So join the Kailasa's COVID Care Protection Center and register now through the link below with https://kailasa.org/Kailasa care. With this, we are going to move on to the next part of our program. Stay tuned with the deep space of gratitude for the live satsang. And please chant the Mahavakya to receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism with the deep space of gratitude. Let's chant the Mahavakya. Om Nityananda Paramashivam. Om Nityananda Paramashivam.
Connecting with the divine with your eyes closed is meditation. Connecting with the divine with your eyes open is darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes.
Ammayappane ni ennayappane, ammayappane ni ennayappane, ammayappane ni ennayappane, ammayappane ni ennayappane. மக்களுக்காக மறுபடியும் நீ அவதரித்தானே, மக்களுக்காக மறுபடியும் நீ அவதரித்தானே. அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே. காக்கா காக்கா கவிமிக அழகா, நோக்கா நோக்கா நின்னரு பெருகா, காக்கா காக்கா கவிமிக அழகா, நோக்கா நோக்கா நின்னரு பெருகா. ஏதும் பிற இரண்டா கருணை நீ செய்யும் எந்தாயே, ஏதும் பிற இரண்டா கருணை நீ செய்யும் எந்தாயே, அப்பனே செய்யும் எந்தாயே. அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே. மக்களுக்காக மறுபடியும் நீ அவதரித்தானே, மக்களுக்காக மறுபடியும் நீ அவதரித்தானே. என்னை அம்மையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, 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 நீ என்னையப்பனே.
நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை கப்பா, அறுபடை சக்தியின் ஒருமுக நித்தியனின் திருவடியை நாம் காண்போம். நித்யா திருவடியை நாம் காண்போம். நித்தியன் திருவடி கண்டு நோயற்ற வாழ்வினை பெறுவோம். நித்தியன் திருவடி கண்டு நோயற்ற வாழ்வினை பெறுவோம். ஆறுபடை கப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை கப்பா, நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை கப்பா, ஆறுபடை கப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை கப்பா, நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை கப்பா. கேட்டால் தருவாய், வந்தால் அருள்வாய், நித்தியபுரி நித்யா, நித்யா நித்தியபுரி நித்யா. நித்தியன் பாதம் கண்டு சகல செல்வமும் பெறுவோம். நித்தியன் பாதம் கண்டு சகல செல்வமும் பெறுவோம். ஆறுபடை கப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை கப்பா, நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை கப்பா, ஆறுபடை கப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை கப்பா, நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை கப்பா.